Well, thanks, Corrinne, for your time. Thanks for being with us tonight. Could you share with us that, a little snapshot of what it was like when you went from the person that worked at a business to being the owner of the business?
Well, my mom actually started Rubies in 1988, so it was August 8th of 88. And I was in grade 9 at the time, so just 14. And of course, I worked in the family business after school, weekends, and then went away to university because that's just what you did. In science. Made sense, had good grades in science. Anyways, the second year after university, came home for summer, and that year we got our very first laser engraver. And it was super high tech in the early 90s. And I was super excited. I could play with this brand new toy. And engraving, we always did computerized engraving. So it came to the end of summer. I didn't want to go back to university. So talked to my mom and dad, did a lot of soul searching, and decided to join my mom full time.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Never looked back. Enjoy most days. Still excited to get up and go into work. Officially in 2004, we incorporated, and then I became a 50% owner.
Awesome.
And my mom is still involved in the business. She's sort of leaning towards retirement.
Awesome.
And my brother joined us. I used to do all the engraving. But it got to a point, it was just too much. I was looking to hire somebody, and he asked if he could join the business, and I'm like, I don't want it to ruin our relationship, but let's give it a try.
Sure, yeah.
And that was, 12 years ago. And
that's perfect.
Love having him. He does all the engraving, and we work well together.
Family businesses, they're powerful, right?
Yes.
Our whole country's built on that, on the family business. So in your journey as a business owner and as a worker, is there one particular challenge that you faced that you could share? How you've faced it and you've overcome it?
Well, as I mentioned, I was excited about the engraving, creating, using my creativity, making pretty things. But owning a business and managing a business requires things that you may not love, like managing employees. I'm very independent. I like to do things on my own, but you can't run a successful business without help. And we've had some fantastic employees. We have some fantastic employees right now, but it is a struggle for me to manage them, communicate what I want to them. So that is a skill that I, to this day, am still working on.
Corrinne, there's people that are watching this that they're teetering on the idea of having their own business. Is there a nugget of wisdom that you've learned that you could pass on to someone like that?
I was thinking about that, and I think you can't be afraid to take a risk. I mean, starting a business is a huge risk in itself, but even through the process, like we've been in business over 30 years, and each new big investment in a new equipment or expansion is a risk. So you have to be able to handle that risk.
Right. The courage to risk.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to know what facts you need to have in line in order to make an educated jump into
Sure.
expanding or
Well, Corrinne, thanks so much for your time tonight.